This program contains scenes of nonsensical garbage and coarse language and is intended for a mature audience. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, my little pumpkins. Welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be doing a proper fun size review. I know I haven't done one of these in almost a year. Kind of disgusting, kind of gross. We're going to change that. And I figured today would be the best day to do it because I have a load of Fenty products that I picked up this year. And I figured, why not talk about them all today? But before I jump into that, I do want to say a little footnote here. I don't really love the name Fun Size. It used to be Bite Size, and then I got heavily demonetized because I have like a black cloud over my channel. It's fine. So I changed it to Fun Size, and Fun Size is cute, but I kind of want something more fun, more dead, more me. I just haven't really kind of figured it out because my brain is like Swiss cheese right now and I'm all out of ideas. So I am going to open it up and ask y'all. I know all of you are just wonderful and creative, okay? So if you do have a suggestion, please spray your solutions all over me. Make sure it gets right in my mouth. Ew, that was disgusting, I'm sorry. But seriously, no, get it in my mouth. Okay, anyway, no, if you have a good idea of like what you could think a possible video name could be, let me know. I'm all ears. That said, in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Fenty Hydrating Concealer that came out, I believe, sometime in like mid-January. I know, I've had this for a little bit now. Anyway, the new Fenty Hydrating Foundation that launched last week. And last but not least, we have the Demiglow Highlighter that launched, I want to say, sometime last month. So let's start with the foundation first. Let me tell you a little bit about this product. The Soft Lit Naturally Luminous Hydrating Longwear Foundation, a hydrating and glowy foundation that's waterproof and reduces shine for a notch above natural finish. This long-wearing medium coverage foundation that gives a golden hour glow in a bottle. It hydrates, brightens, and improves the look of skin tone immediately and over time while resisting sweat, humidity, and transfer. So fun fact, when Fenty came out with their first foundation ever, I was shade match 140. Look at me. That foundation always left a cast on me. And then on top of that, it was matte. I have dry skin. I don't like that. So it always like dried me out and it wasn't a good time. Since then, there have been quite a few Fenty complexion releases, and I have to say the last two have been wonderful. The Eavesdrop Stick is one of my favorites of all time, and I feel like that is truly an underrated product. If you have dry skin, oof, bitch, it's just so good. It's so good. So when I heard that Fenty was gonna be launching a hydrating foundation, I was like, I'm listening. But I was a little apprehensive because of just my experience with that product. I was kind of hoping that this was going to be better. And I have to say, it is. I'm actually thoroughly surprised with this product. But I do think that there are some things that you should know if you have dry skin like myself. First and foremost, Fenty shade range is a little kind of funky. So like I mentioned before, in the original foundation, I was 140. That just did not look right on me. I don't want to say borderline problematic, but it could have been borderline problematic. It was not the right shade for me. So I decided, okay, what could I do? Let's see, what is the best thing for me? So when I picked this up online, I was trying to utilize the shade chart in the Soft Lit Stick, right? I'm actually number 2. And in theory, I should have been 140. But it's weird because shade 2 with the stick is perfect. And dare I say shade 1 is actually way too light for me. But I think if I would have went with the 140, it would have been incredibly too dark. So what I wound up choosing was actually shade 125, and I feel like that's a perfect match. So I say that to say, this is something that I feel like you need to actually physically go to the store and look at, because there is a good chance that the shades could just be that wonky. And while I am ultimately happy that I did choose 125, I actually kind of question if I should have went down to 120, only because this foundation oxidizes a little bit. Thankfully, it's not like super noticeable, but when I look at the base of my neck, for example, it definitely does look like just like a hair darker. So that's just something to be mindful of when you're trying to figure out your shade. The fact that it does oxidize a bit, maybe you should go a little bit lighter to kind of offset that oxidation. Y'all know that I'm a makeup enthusiast. I am not an expert at all when it comes to ingredients or anything like that. I've been trying to get better at those things, but still I have a ways to go. So when I was looking at the ingredients of this foundation, the first ingredient is water. So I just automatically assumed, okay, you know what? This is going to pair well with all my water primers. I'm not going to use my oil primer. So when I did use the water primer, It's okay. Like, it's not bad, but I find that if I use a little bit too much product, it kind of feels a little bit heavy. It feels a little bit stiff. And I noticed that my skin does look a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to say it's like super dry, but it definitely looks drier. So initially I was going to kind of write this product off. That was until I paired it with my baby, my Thorn Oil. Again, I want to reiterate, I have super dry mummy dick skin. So I need like a fucking water hose of just product on my face. Otherwise, any makeup product is just going to dry the shit out of me. And God forbid I fall, I will crack into a million pieces. So I was incredibly happy that this foundation pairs so beautifully with my Thorn Oil. I love how this applies with the brush, and technically I don't feel like I need to go over it with the sponge. I kind of just do it out of forced habit at this point. It's a product that doesn't create any brush strokes in the face. I fucking love that. In terms of coverage, this is really good. It's classified as a medium coverage, but dare I say, it kind of borders more on like a high medium. You can build it up, and when I do build it up with the Thorn Oil, I don't experience that heaviness that I did when I used the water primer. One of the interesting claims about this particular foundation is that it's transfer proof. I'm gonna call bullshit on that. It is not transfer proof. So I have worn this a few different ways where I did not set my face. If I don't set my face, it does dry down, but I'm kind of like just fearful of my neck area, especially if my shirt kind of gets a little bit too close. I'll notice that there is a little makeup on my shirt, which kind of sucks. So I find that it is best to set this down with powder. However, the drawback when you set it down with powder, you kind of lose a little bit of that luminosity. If you are worried that this was going to, you know, I don't know, make your skin like super fucking greasy or anything like that, don't be. It's definitely more hydrating than like a natural finish, but it's not super hydrating where your skin basically looks like a fucking mirror. You basically look like an oil slick on the floor. Now, the last few days in Florida, it's kind of been like mid 80s or so. There really hasn't been any humidity. So I can't really comment on if this is going to really withstand during the humidity. However, next week it's gonna be hot as fuck. So I can't wait to see if I'm gonna look like a melted candle by the end of the day. So I'll update you in the future if that works out for me. Longevity wise, this is fucking good. I feel like I get like a solid, 8 or 9 hours before I start seeing the product kind of like break down, like towards like my hairline or like right around my jaw. And when it does start to break down, it kind of fades really beautifully. So it doesn't look like there's immediate like holes or like your makeup's all fucked up. It just looks natural. It really reminds me a lot of the Ease Stick in that way. That product has amazing fucking longevity. So I'm happy to say that this is very, very similar. The other thing that's really interesting about this foundation is that in its description, it gives you that golden hour glow. And I was a little concerned about that because while I definitely think golden hour is just a very beautiful light that just makes basically a 2 a 10, there's also a very good chance that it can just be overly yellow and just make you look like, I don't know, you have fucking jaundice. And for me, being kind of like neutral, cool tone, it just looks fucking off on me. So I'm happy to say that shade 125, even with the oxidation, doesn't have like an orangey off-putting color. I am thoroughly impressed with this product. The other thing that I love about this product too is that it doesn't settle into my fine lines. It doesn't create any sort of like super dry texture. I usually have a huge problem. My nose is like the driest part of my face. And so when I put a foundation on and I automatically start seeing like all my dry bits and bobs, I'm like, oh, fuck this shit. But no, this was very seamless. And I have to say, I have actually been very lucky when it comes to foundations this year. A lot of them, for the most part, with the exception of that Kosas BB burst bullshit, all of them have been really wonderful for dry skin. So if you were interested in checking this out, I think this is worth exploring. Just go to the store. Because if you have a shade in mind, odds are that is not going to be the shade that you want. You are probably going to want to go lighter. So I would say that's probably the biggest con in all of this is that if you really do go buy the picture online, there is a really good chance that it's not going to fucking work out for you. It's just not. I believe this should be in the stores now. So hopefully you won't have that problem if you have a Sephora by you. I don't think that this is an Ulta, but if it is, I'll kind of like leave a little comment here, but I don't think it is. I think this is just only a Sephora exclusive release, if not going to the actual Fenty site. But yeah, this is great. This is something that I would happily fucking repurchase again. I think for the price point, 40 bucks, I think this is well worth the money. I'm actually kind of really excited for Fenty because when Fenty first came out, they were revolutionary. It was like, oh my God, there's finally a brand that's catering to the masses. And there was some good releases. And then there was like a string of really weird fucking, like, I don't know, they were like in a flop era. It was just bizarre. Their eyeshadows are really not that great. There wasn't anything like super super fucking exciting, or I don't know, I guess exciting about the brand. Like everything was kind of just really fucking mid, or just something that you just never think about. But I feel like they're kind of coming into a little bit of a renaissance. And I really hope that they continue with this energy, because I want to see more products like this. This is something I would happily repurchase again and again and again. So please don't fuck it up. Keep going with this energy. So if you were interested in checking this out, check this out in store first. Otherwise, Godspeed, child, Godspeed. So that said, let's talk about the concealer next. We're Even Hydrating Longwear Waterproof Concealer. A 12-hour hydrating longwear concealer that comes in a wide range of medium coverage shades with a natural second skin finish. This concealer melts into skin, quickly and visibly evening, brightening, and hiding dark circles and puffiness for up to 12 hours. The extreme longwear formula resists creasing, fading, sweat, and humidity, and won't settle into fine lines or accentuate skin texture. Plus, it's transfer and waterproof. So very similarly to the foundation, this also comes in 50 shades, and I chose it in the shade 120N because, kind of based off of the little shade range thing, this was the one that was going to work out for me. And I have to say, like, you know what? Not bad. I feel like overall this is a really good match. I love the packaging. I think it's really, really cute. I like the doe foot. I find that to be like super comfortable. I also like that it's a little bit angled. It gets into the corner really nicely. And I also appreciate that the doe foot is not super huge, because the concealer feels a little bit more concentrated. I like that. This is, it's an interesting product. So one of the claims is that it is really good for dark circles. I don't think it is. I don't think it is, because it's funny. It's a hydrating formula, but I find it to be very fucking drying. Granted, my skin is very dry and I might be an outlier, but as soon as I put this down and I blend this out, it just looks heavy and cakey. And I don't know, like I was expecting it to be like that second skin finish, because that is what the fucking description says, but it's not. Instead, it kind of is just kind of thick, and in not like the good way. Not thick with two C's. There is nothing cute about this one. So needless to say, there have been a lot of trial and error. And I noticed the thing about this particular product is if you use too much, it just does not look good. So you have to use kind of a nice light layer. But when you do use a light layer, the coverage is definitely more on the light medium side. So you're gonna be like, I don't know, tempted to wanna just build it up a little bit more, but don't. Because if you fucking do that, then it's gonna look thick as fuck and just uncomfortable. It's also funny too that while this is I would say like a more drying concealer, I still feel like I need to use a powder to set it down, because if I don't do that, I notice that it starts to crease pretty heavily in my fine lines under my eye. And nobody has time to see all the sadness in your student loan stress lines. So at least when I use the powder, it kind of softens it up a little bit, but then you start to notice that you could have used an extra layer because you see your dark circles kind of poking through. So what I have found that has worked for me is basically just use a light layer and then go over it with my favorite translucent setting powder that actually brightens my under eye area like fucking crazy, which is the CoverGirl Simply Ageless. This and the Fenty paired very beautifully. In terms of longevity, I don't think it's really all that great. I want to say for like a solid 6 hours, I don't notice the product breaking down, but kind of after that 6-hour mark, it starts to look really fucking dry, like dehydrated. It's in the desert and it's crying for water. Like that's just how fucked up my under eyes look with this concealer. However, if I use this concealer to kind of spot conceal around my face or add a little bit more coverage to places where I just need a little bit more coverage, like if I want to cover my redness and all that stuff, it's fine. It's great. It's fantastic. So I actually prefer this more as an all over product as opposed to just using it under the eyes. I know, I don't really understand it myself. But when I do use it in the areas, say like around my chin, or even sometimes the little bit of redness that I kind of get by like, I don't know, like the apple of my cheek towards my nose, I find that the coverage is just fucking perfect. So dare I say, this concealer is just way too heavy for the under eye, but everywhere else, it's perfect. I didn't find it accentuating any sort of texture because like I've mentioned in the past, I do have a little bit of texture sometimes on the apples of my cheek or a little bit on my nose. If I do use that concealer on those areas, I don't notice it. It's just whatever is in the formula just dries the fuck out of my under eyes. I don't know why. I don't know why. So I think this is a product, as much as I do like it for around the face, it's not, I don't know, it's like not the fucking best thing that I've ever tried. So I'm happy that I picked it up, but this is something that I wouldn't repurchase again. So like once it's done, bye bitch, we're not buying you again. Foundation, absolutely. I will happily buy that fucking 10 times over. But I just don't think there's anything like super remarkable or amazing about the concealer. And I'm really happy that the foundation didn't follow the concealer. I'm so happy, because otherwise I would be really, really fucking sad. Also, very similarly to the foundation, the first ingredient in this is water. So I have tried it with like my water primers as well as my Thorn Oil, and I feel like the Thorn Oil is like the best. If I do use a water primer, it somehow feels even more drier. So I don't know, it's like, it's an interesting product, but even with the good times that I've had with this product, again, especially kind of covering up my madness and shit like that, it's still not really worth exploring or checking out. So yeah, I would skip on this one. So with that said, let's move on to the last product, the highlighter. The Demiglow Light Diffusing Highlighter, a skin tone based highlighter with a silky soft feel that's infused with superfine pearls designed to flatter every tone for a low-key glow. This lightweight, long-wearing formula delivers a natural looking radiant finish. The smooth glide, no grit feel blends into the skin without disturbing makeup and improves the appearance of fine lines and resists sweat and humidity. The superfine pearls are delicate, so handle with care. I like Fenty highlighters, but I don't think they're the best highlighters ever. I know like a lot of people fucking suck this brand's dick when it comes to their highlighters, but I just think they're okay, like they're good, but they're not like fucking amazing. And for me, I am very particular when it comes to my highlighters. I want to glow like you've never fucking seen before. I want that alien slut vibe. I want you to see me from outer space, bitch. I want to cut people down with my cheekbones, and I want to command the fucking room. So that's what I look for in a highlighter. Now, sometimes I do love a softer moment, but that's when I'm really sick. Most of the times, I want that fucking attention. And when this was announced, I was kind of like, I don't know, like this could be cool, but I don't know. It kind of feels like an Anne highlighter, which is like a basic bitch highlighter. So I don't really know how this is going to translate. Bitch, this is one of the best fucking things that I purchased during the Sephora sale. One of the best. I cannot stop fucking wearing it. I love it to pieces. And if they ever discontinue this, I will fucking riot. That is how amazing and wonderful this product is. And now I need to actually go swatch some of the other ones in store because I want to see what else I can fucking wear. So I have it in the shade Pretty Pearls, which is 01. There are 9 shades in total. So next time I'm in like a Sephora or Ulta, I want to see shade number 2 because I feel like that might work for me. There is just something so fucking beautiful about this highlighter. This highlighter definitely commands the attention of everybody. If you are worried there's going to be sparkles, don't be. I am someone that doesn't like sparkle in my highlighter. Like I don't mind a little bit of it, but sometimes if there's too much, when you put it on and you start to kind of like buff it in, all the sparkles kind of just fucking fly everywhere. It looks like Tinkerbell shit all over your face and you are left with no highlighter. And it's like, what the fuck is this? No, no, no. That's why I shy away from highlighters that have a lot of like glitter bukkake in them. This one is just so silky and smooth. I love this light powder texture. It doesn't emphasize any bullshit. It just glides so beautifully over makeup. And as you start to buff the product into the skin, it just looks like you are naturally a glowy, dewy alien goddess. Like it's fucking beautiful. If they ever take this formula and decide to kind of make like color highlighters with it, like say pink or green or blue, that's gonna be fucking insane. Like I kind of really hope they do that because there's something just so soft and delicate about the formula that makes it look super fucking natural. This has been my go-to highlighter as of late. Like I also did pick up, let me show you this one too. I also did pick up the Natasha Denona one. This is like the Hydrating highlighter. This is a good highlighter. I really do like this one. This has like a very slick formula as well. And I'll kind of throw a swatch here so you can kind of see the difference between both of them. And they are very similar in their swatches, but there's just something about the Fenty one that I feel like, I don't know, just I think looks better on me. Now don't get me wrong, the Natasha Denona one is a very beautiful highlighter and I'm very, very happy that I did pick it up. But I think what it comes down to is how natural it looks, which I know is something really funny because literally 3 minutes ago I was like, I want something where you fucking see me from outer space. And I listen, I do, but I also love that you can achieve that that, but it looks like you literally have like no makeup on at all. Like it looks like your skin is just that hydrated, that juicy, just that fucking beautiful. And I feel like that you can achieve with the Fenty one. You can kind of achieve that with the Natasha Denona, but I feel like it definitely looks more of like a highlighter in comparison to the Fenty. There's just something about this very soft formula. I don't know, it's something that I feel like I haven't seen in a hot minute. And again, one of the best fucking products that I picked up during the Sephora sale. The longevity of this product is perfect. It has a beautiful wear time. I could fucking wear it for like 12 hours and it still looks beaming and just beautiful. When I wear this highlighter, I get the most compliments during my Teams and Zoom meetings because my face just looks like, I don't know, a beautiful beacon of light that they cannot stop staring at. And for that, I say you're welcome. This is just so beautiful for virtual meetings. I love it. But even more than that, it's just a beautiful highlighter. So whether you are stuck in back-to-back Zoom meetings or you're just like kind of running out to Target, it's just a beautiful fucking product. I don't know, it's just something just so like soft and luxurious about it. I am just fucking obsessed. I'm in love. It's unreal. It doesn't emphasize any texture. When you start to buff it into the skin, it doesn't fly away. Everything just looks fucking perfect and beautiful, and I could just bathe my whole body in it. So I need to go to the store ASAP to see if any other shade is gonna work for my uncooked chicken ass. I really do hope so. But again, wish list item. I hope that they release this formula in more kind of celestial colors because I think it would be absolutely fucking perfection and something that is definitely needed. So I love this. So yeah, fucking go check this out. If you can, go check this out. So to recap here, the foundation and the highlighter are fucking amazing. The concealer, meh, you don't fucking need it. Now I would love to hear from y'all. Let me know down below if you have any of these products. If you love them, if you hate them, let me know because I love hearing from you. And again, if you have a fun name that is not Fun Size Review, let me know down below. I'm all ears. Thank you so much to my beautiful, wonderful patrons and YouTube members for keeping this garbage boat afloat. And I'll see you motherfuckers on Friday. Bye.